Look, if you've been scrolling headlines, it sounds like everything has slammed to a halt. But here's what the actual data says. In December, just over 1,000 homes still closed in Northern Virginia. The median price held right around the mid 700,000s, and inventory is still up roughly 40 to 45% compared to last year. So no, this market is not frozen, it's bent, not broken. And honestly, it's one of the strangest markets Northern Virginia has seen in years. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly why it feels so quiet, why the numbers are saying something completely different, and what the disconnect means for you if you're buying or selling in 2026. All right, let's start with the part that nobody can ignore. The feeling you get when trying to buy or sell a home right now. On the ground, this does not feel like a hot market. You're hearing things like, I'm not seeing new listings in my neighborhood, or that house has been sitting there forever. Open houses are empty, the market must be dead. Here's a problem. Your memory of the pandemic market is still lying to you. During the frenzy years, typical days on market around the DC metro dropped into the single digits. If a listing wasn't under contract by Monday, people thought that something was wrong with it. Today, average days on market in Northern Virginia are just under a month, about 29 days recently, which is up more than 30% versus a year ago. Now, objectively, that's a perfectly normal time frame to sell a home. But subjectively, after living through 2020 to 2022, it feels like an eternity. So your brain is reading not gone in a week as this market must be dead, when the stats are saying it just reverted back to a more typical pace. Now, the visible markers of that frenzy are just gone. Open houses that used to pack 20 to 30 groups into a Sunday are now seeing closer to 5 to 10, especially in late fall and now winter. Those social media friendly stories with like 20 offers on every home and 50% over asking price, they're way rarer now. Instead, you're seeing houses sell at or just under list, and the occasional double-digit price cut that you're seeing online. Now, from the sidewalk, that looks like no one's buying. But on a spreadsheet, Northern Virginia is still closing around 1,000 home sales a month, and new pending contracts are roughly flat or slightly higher than they were last year. Now here's the thing, the biggest freeze isn't in the MLS, it's in people's heads and in their monthly payment calculators. A huge share of Northern Virginia owners are sitting on 2 to 3% mortgages. Current 30-year fixed rates heading into January are hovering around the low to mid sixes. Even with rates down from those 2023 to early 2025 peaks, the payment jump to move up or even just move sideways is brutal. So would-be sellers, they're just staying put. That shows up as longtime locals adding an addition to their home instead of listing their home for sale. Empty nesters are delaying downsizing even though they prefer less house. And buyers are just saying there's nothing to buy, even while active listings are up roughly 40 to 45% year over year. So you end up with this strange combo. More inventory than you've seen in years, but still not enough turnover from those locked-in sellers to make every neighborhood feel as busy as some others. Now we take all that and we layer on timing and just mood. Late fall and winter are always slower. Historically, Northern Virginia sees hundreds fewer new listings in November and December than in peak spring. Some years, new listings dropped roughly a third of what spring's volume is. And at the same time, the recent news cycle has been full of budget fights, shutdown fears, and uncertain economy headlines in a region that literally lives off the federal government. So buyers and sellers, they're doom scrolling. It's dark at 5 p.m. now, and of course it feels like nobody's moving, even when median prices are still posting mid-single digit annual gains. And finally, the market isn't moving in one direction across the board anymore. Region-wide, 2025 has been described as bent but didn't break. Demand's down a bit, supply is up, sales are off only modestly, and prices are still up in the low to mid-single digits. But subsegments, older condos with high fees, compromised locations, or just overpriced listings in general, are ice cold. Meanwhile, clean, well-priced townhomes and single-family homes in top school pyramids are still getting very strong activity. To the condo seller on a busy road, it absolutely feels frozen. There are few showings, slow price cuts, there's really no buzz. Now their friend in an A+ Arlington, Alexandria, or Vienna neighborhood, they get multiple offers week one, and it's a completely different story. So from the outside, the market looks random and broken. In reality, it's just become more selective and rational. Okay, now that we've tackled the psychology of the market, now let's look at the numbers that prove this market is slow but not dead. And we're gonna start with prices. Okay, they're up, they're not down. December's median sold price in Northern Virginia is tracking right around November's level, which is roughly $740,000. It's up solidly versus a year ago. Frozen or crashing markets, they don't post mid-single digit price growth year over year. Sales volume is slightly lower, but it's still huge. Recent closed sales have been running just over 1,000 homes a month in Northern Virginia. November alone saw almost 1,100 closings. That was down about 6.6% from a year earlier. Slower? Sure, but that's still more than 1,000 1,000 families moving in one calendar month. Total monthly sales volume in November, roughly $970 million worth of real estate changed hands. That's a functioning market, not a shutdown. And buyers are still writing offers. New pending sales in November actually rose about 0.7% year over year, which means slightly more ratified contracts in the same month last year. So the no one is buying narrative, it just doesn't match what's happening on ratified contracts. Now, if we zoom out to the entire DC area, analysts are describing 2025 as bent, but didn't break. Total sales slipped less than 1%, but median prices rose around the low single digits, and supply climbed while still sitting below national levels. The data is clear. Slower? Yeah. Frozen? Absolutely not. Now, inventory is the biggest structural shift, and it's the biggest reason that the buyer's experience is changing right now. Now, there were over 2,000 active homes for sale in November. Year over year change, that's up 45.1% from November of 2024. That's a dramatic increase in options versus the starvation years of 2021 to 2022. Months of supply sits around 1.5 months, which is up roughly 40% year over year. Now, on paper, 1.5 months is still a very seller-biased market. Historically, true balance is closer to 4 to 6 months, but moving from roughly 1 month to 1.5 months changes the feel of negotiations. You get more choice for buyers, more competition for sellers. Northern Virginia's supply growth has been faster than the national averages as well. Recent reports show that the local inventory is up over 30 to 40%, while many US markets are only inching higher from low levels. So for locals who are used to no inventory, this new world of 40 to 45% more listings is a shock, but it's still not enough to create a true buyer's market, which keeps prices firm as they feel. That tension between way more than before and still not enough is exactly what makes this market feel so strange. And rates are the bridge between numbers and feelings. As of late December 2025, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rates are around 6.2 to 6.3%, which is down from the 7+% peaks earlier in the cycle, but nowhere near the 2 to 3% loans that many owners are sitting on. This is the lock-in effect. Selling means trading something like a 2.75% payment for a rate in the sixes. For many households, that's hundreds or even thousands more per month for the same house or only a modest upgrade. So they don't sell. That self-imposed freeze reduces move-up inventory, keeps turnover artificially low in certain established neighborhoods, and makes it feel like nobody's moving on your block, even while the region is quietly closing thousands of deals across other segments. It's not a demand problem, it's a I'm handcuffed to my current mortgage problem, even though I do want to move. So let's translate all of this into strategy, starting with buyers. What's your upside right now? Inventory is up, roughly 40 to 45%, like I said, which means that you can actually compare houses instead of panic writing on the first halfway decent one that you find. With days on market pushing close to a month and months of supply rising, buyers are winning back inspection contingencies, appraisal protections, and the occasional closing cost credit, or even a rate buy down. Price growth has cooled from double digits to more sustainable mid-single digit appreciation, depending on where you are, which is a more manageable ramp for long-term ownership as well. Now, what are the trade-offs here? Payment shock is still very real. Even with slightly better leverage on some homes, a 6-something rate versus that 3-something rate that you were hoping for is a huge monthly difference. In A-plus locations, like walkable Arlington, Vienna, parts of Alexandria, McLean, good listings still move quickly and attract strong interest. So what moves do you need to make in this weird but not frozen market? Get fully underwritten up front with your lender so when the right home hits, your offer looks as strong as it possibly can. Target stale but fixable homes, sitting maybe 21 or more days with cosmetic issues, awkward staging, minor pricing areas, terrible pictures. This is where negotiation leverage is highest right now. Think in terms of total cost of ownership over 5 to 10 years, not just the rate. You can refinance a mortgage if it changes, but you cannot refinance your lot, your commute, your school pyramid, and your lifestyle. So what does all this weirdness mean for sellers? Well, first off, it's not 2021. And if you list like it is, the market is definitely going to punish you. The good news is that pricing power is still real. With a median sold price near $740,000 and annual gains around the mid-single digits, you're not selling into a crash. Demand is softer, sure, but it's intact, and new pendings are roughly flat to slightly up year over year, and DC Metro sales are only modestly below last year. The reality check, though, is that you have more competition. Active listings are up 45% and months of supply up over 40. It means that you're no longer the only game in town. Buyers are choosier and they're just more payment sensitive. They won't overpay for flawed homes just because there's nothing else to buy like they used to. So how can you win as a seller right now? First, price for the last 30 to 60 days, not for 2 years ago. Even a 3 to 5% overreach can be fatal in a data-heavy market. And it quickly turns fresh and hot into, why is that home still sitting? Invest in your preparation. Pre-inspections, minor repairs, paint, landscaping, great media presentation, photos, all of this in a more balanced market is your leverage. Expect negotiation. Build room in your net for inspection credits, small price tweaks, or feedback from the buyers. The sellers who lean into this reality are still closing quickly and profitably. The ones who list like it's an auction, they're the ones that are telling the frozen market stories. Now, if we zoom out for a second, analysts are describing Northern Virginia as poised for balance in 2026, not for a crash. Inventory is expanding here faster than in much of the country. So while prices are expected to keep rising at a calmer, more sustainable pace, it's keeping the market a little bit weird for right now. What can you guys watch for? Number one, how quickly mortgage rates drift down in 2026 and whether that unlocks more move-up sellers. Federal decisions and job security trends that affect confidence in Arlington, Fairfax, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Vienna. New development in National Landing, Reston, Tysons, and all along the Silver Line that truly reshapes where the next wave of buyers are going to want to live. If those pieces fall into place, 2026 looks less like Ice Age and more like a gradual shift into a healthier, more balanced market for both buyers and sellers. So, is the Northern Virginia housing market frozen? The numbers say no. It's slower, it's pickier, and it's way less dramatic, but it's still moving over 1,000 homes a month at rising prices, with more inventory and more room for negotiation than we've had in years. Guys, I've spent over a decade helping families make these exact decisions, so if you're thinking about making a move here, send me an email at rick@livinginGreaterDC.com. And let's build your plan together. In a market like this, the right guidance, I don't consider it optional. I think that it's essential to help guide you through the strangeness of Northern Virginia right now. I'll help you find the area that truly fits what matters most to you and your family and make it happen for 2026. And if you want to see the flip side of this, what types of homes should you never buy in Northern Virginia? Check out the video on your screen right now. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.